This presentation is about the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamla from the textbook Flamingo. My Mother at 66 is by Kamla, one of the outstanding poets of India writing in English. She brought the concept of confessional poetry in her writings. She gained fame by her short stories and autobiographies written in Malayalam, whereas in English her poetry gave her significant place. The Times called her the mother of modern Indian English poetry. Some of her notable works are My Story, Thanupu, The Old Playhouse and Other Poems, The Descendants. The poem My Mother at 66 is a touching poem which deals with the themes of aging, compassion, fear of loss, coming to terms with grief, and juxtaposition in everyday's life. The central idea is aging, a natural phenomenon, brevity of human life, certainty of death, and paradox of human relationships. Kamla in a pensive tone, highlights how she suffers from thanatophobia, the fear of death. Her mother being a sexagenarian. In the lines, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. The poetess has seized the moment while driving from her parents' residence to Cochin on Friday morning, with her mother next to her. The poetess' love for her mother is highlighted through the poetic device alliteration, my mother, where possessive pronoun my is used with mother. In the next line, imagery doors, open mouth, point to tropid mother as she is mentally and physically inactive. The simile, her face, ashen like that of a cop, echoes poetess' fear that the end is just about the corner, as the word ashen describes pale face coupled with cop, a dead body. Here, the poet highlights the deep embedded fear in human psyche. The irony is that, notwithstanding next to her mother, she is haunted by the thought of losing her mother as she found her to be as old as she looked in terms of age. Aging is often considered to be the last gasp of life, and this thought of her mother's fading health makes Kamla feel vulnerable and insecure. She tried to dismiss these unpleasant thoughts looking out of her car window. The images outside the car were exuberant. The images of buoyant children running out of their homes, young trees running fast are juxtaposed against the premonitory listlessness inside the car. In spite of her efforts, she was tormented by the idea of preordained death of her mother. In the next line, the setting changes from car to airport. The poetess surveyed her mother's sickly face at the airport and found her no longer bright like late winter's moon. At this juncture, the poet senses the similar uneasiness. Standing at the security check, she recalls the misgivings which she experienced during childhood, being separated from her mother. Before departing, the poetess was somber, and with equanimity she resigns herself to accept the phenomenon of aging. The parting from mother is made heartrending, poignant by fact that she fears that she might not meet her mother again, yet she hopes to see her. This intermingling of emotions of love, hope, longing, and a sense of hopelessness shows the stoicism at the face of the poetess. The inevitable fear seemed to find its way in the repetition, I smile, 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 to convey that she was optimistic. The poem concludes on the note of the deep felt emotion how one has to accept the fact that aging is a natural process and one must continue with one's own journey bravely. The repetition, smile and smile and smile, reinforces the smile that's not genuine, it is a pretension. The poet wishes to hide her worries, so she goes on smiling and smiling. Let's go through some important words, expressions and figures of speech to understand this poem better. On this page, the expression my mother is alliteration because the sound m is repeated in my mother. The expressions beside me, doors open mouth are imageries because these expressions convey the poet's mother seated next to her and the poet's mother sleeping lightly with mouth wide open. The expression, her face ashen like that of a corpse, is a simile, where the poet's listless pale mother is compared to a dead body. The expression face is synecdoche because it refers to the poet's mother. On this page, the expression trees sprinting is personification because trees appear to be running as the cars sped past. The expression merry children out of their homes, standing a few yards away, looked again at her are imageries because they help the reader to create a picture in their mind. The expression worn and pale have the same meaning, which means sickly. So these expressions are tautology as different words are used to convey the same meaning. The expression as a late winter's moon is a simile where the poet's mother, listless pale mother, is compared to the waning moon which appears to be dull. The expression old familiar ache refers to the same pain which the poetess experienced as a child with her misgivings of losing her mother. The expression said was see you soon is alliteration because in the words said, see, soon, the sound of s is repeated. The last expression, smile and smile and smile is repetition where the poet highlighted that how she tried to suppress her fear of losing her mother wearing a fake smile.